Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday the 22nd of April 2019, and it's a wee bit of an annoying one, but remember we're coming through the world card, and when you come through the world card sometimes it's not all plain sailing after it. It's that sense of moving into a new direction, maybe a new cycle. And sometimes that comes with little snarl-ups and little exhaustions. So we've got the Eight of Swords this week. Obviously this will probably get demonetised with the women there, but there's a wee man sitting. Come on, camera. Yep. And he's basically got a crossroads ahead of him, with two paths from it, and if you look at the paths, they do go to sort of bright lights individually behind the two women who are sort of either side of the road, and you've got the stars and the universe. But it's important, the wee man with his head in his hands, the road in front of him, he doesn't know which one to take, and there's distractions and there's procrastination, and that's the Eight of Swords. So basically what we have with this generally is a sense of, okay, we're stopping for a breather to see what we're going to do next. It can be a negative card, there's no doubt about it, but if we're aware of it and what the energies it can bring, then it can certainly make us try to overcome them and work with them. So the general sort of feel of the week ahead in the world would be, right, we need to get to the end result, the end game as such, and there might be more than one route to get there, because if you look at the end of the paths, they do actually have the bright light. So it's not as though there's only one potential outcome. There's two, but they both look kind of bright. And that's what I want you to remember as you go into the week ahead, that although you may have to make decisions, and sometimes you'll be making decisions not necessarily with the full facts. That's what I kind of want to say. The full facts may not be there, but just by moving forward and not sitting with your head in your hands, then you're heading towards that bright light. In whichever direction you take to get to it, it's still there at the end result. And that's why this card in Rorig does have the sort of hidden aspect. The Eight of Swords in many other decks is very, very negative, and it feels very curtailed, and it has mental health issues and all sorts of things. But in the Rorig deck, it brings out the fact that generally it'll be kind of edgy. We might be overthinking things rather than just saying, okay, I don't need to see the final outcome just now because it's a wee bit hidden, but I'm going to take a path towards it, and I'm not going to get caught up in whatever path that takes, whatever path I take. And if you look at what's going on maybe in the world just now, particularly in the USA, there's a lot of things that maybe the outcome can't necessarily be seen, but there has to be movement towards it, and not there's not just one route to a good outcome. There can be two or three or whatever. And the same in the the UK with Brexit, etc. We've come to the end of a cycle, and now we're moving forward to see where we're going with it. And it's not that there just needs to be one direction. There can be a few choices that need to be considered here, and that is not a bad thing for all situations in the world. So that's the energy in general. What does it mean in career? Again, you might feel that you're not quite sure where you want to end up, but you know that if you stay where you are, you're going to just have your head in your hands and be maybe forever thinking, what if I'd done that? What if I'd not, allowed myself to take that nonsense? What if I'd taken that extra bit of study? What if? This card really encourages you in your job not to have what if. It's very much not head in the hand stuff. If you get to the stage where you're like, what if, the answer has to be, well, what if I do this now? What if, what can I see ahead if I get my head up and don't procrastinate? Because it's very much a card of procrastination. And if you're working with that outcome, then it can become a good card for career, because it's very much saying, you don't need to know the final outcome before you take a step or make a choice of paths. And I do like that aspect of it, even though, it's traditionally seen as a negative card. I've always seen when this comes up, for me, particularly with career, that maybe, I need to be moving on a bit with another project, and can't really see the outcome of what that project would be. But this was very much a card when I even was thinking of, doing YouTube. My daughter had suggested it, and I went, I don't know, but it could have a nice outcome. Shall I not? That's the sort of aspect of this with career. So stop procrastinating, no what ifs. If you're doing a what if, it has to be, what if I do this now? What if I move towards a goal, even though the goal isn't necessarily very clear at the moment? If we look at health, this is an odd one, because if we pull back on the shape of this, I just see two kidneys. So for me, it's the kidney card. And oh dear, I've just thought, I did this for other people. I've not necessarily sort of thought about it too much for myself. I have chronic kidney disease, so I will be looking out for my own health in the week ahead. But if you've got any problem with kidneys, if you're pregnant as well, not as well as me, but if you're pregnant as well, I'm not pregnant, God's sake. Anyway, Nelly, settle down. If you literally, maybe pregnant, this can bring in problems with protein in the urine. It can bring out problems with the blood pressure. So if you are pregnant just now, this can be a really important card, just to take care of yourself, get your blood pressure taken, and not miss appointments. For those who are not pregnant, it's a normal kidney card. Again, it talks of looking after your kidneys, hydrating. Drink more water, in the sense of cutting down on protein a bit, blah, blah, blah. A nice healthy diet this week should help kidney problems. And that's really all I see in it, apart from the overriding thing of don't procrastinate in getting help if you need it. And again, it is a swords card, so there tends to be a mental health aspect. So maybe that you're physically not well, but you have to overcome the mental barriers to actually put your hand out and say, I need help. So that's all in that as well. If we look at relationships, if you're looking for a relationship, I know this is crazy because it looks quite a negative card, but there should be options on the horizon. And it's not that either one will do. I don't mean that in any way. What it means is don't overthink relationship hunting this week. Just go out there and have some fun, and there might be someone you meet that's nice, and you could meet someone else that's nice, and just don't be thinking, is this going to be long term? Where's it taking me? Should I go for it? Should I not? Just accept the fact that there are options, and that's nice, and enjoy it. If you're in a relationship, it can be a wee warning, basically because of the sense of the wee man and the two women in it. It can be when a relationship's gone a wee bit stale, and maybe a person is not necessarily doing anything wrong, but maybe thinking wrong, maybe attracted to someone else, not maybe done anything yet, or not going to do anything. But it's a warning flagging up of if you're in a long-term relationship, make sure that you're giving your relationship the time and the passion that it deserves. And this can be male or female. It's really just wherever you are in a relationship, wherever you are in a relationship, it's important that you make time for the other person so that it keeps healthy and alive and impassioned. With money, again, it's about seeing that you might not know how you can save X amount to get that outcome, but you can see that you need to not procrastinate about finances. It's a wee warning card about finances that sitting still isn't going to do any good. You need to make decisions, whether it's for short-term financial gain or long-term financial gain. You need to make decisions, because otherwise you're just going to get overwhelmed with where you are. And sometimes my best advice on this card is don't just sit and feel as though everything's getting on top of you. Take a step to even write down a monthly budget, a weekly budget. Take the steps to seeing a better financial process. Even if it doesn't end up taking you to what you wanted, it might take you to something else. You could save money thinking you're saving for a holiday, and then at the time when you're getting ready to think about the holiday, you could need a new car. So do you see what I mean? It's got to be, you could be saving for one thing, but be aware that it could be for something else as well. Spiritually, again, don't procrastinate. If you've said, I want to, move forward with my tarot, or I'm going to meditate every day, or I'm going to, take a course or whatever, just go for it. This procrastination of sitting sort of head in hands, will it happen? Will I open my third eye on its own? And why aren't things working? Just do something. Get off your butts and do something, even if it's just going for a walk in nature so that you clear things, even if it's taking a step forward of smudging yourself so that then you're more ready to be open to different paths. And again, don't get caught in I said I'm going to be a clairvoyant, so I'm going to go in that road, when maybe you're meant to be looking into mediumship, or you're maybe wanting the spirit guides are wanting you to look into healing. Be open to the outcome, but don't procrastinate because of that. So what can be a very negative card in a lot of the other decks in Rorik is, as I say, just because there's the light behind the women and the two roads, to me does give that sense of hope that whatever way forward you go forward is going to have a good outcome, but you're not going to get that outcome at all unless you take that step forward. So I hope you've enjoyed the weekly tarot card. If you would like to learn about my life, my Memoirs for Clairvoyant has been out over a year now. It still trickles along and does quite well, and it's on all Amazons, all territories, and it's in paperback and in Kindle, and I've got a lot of feedback, people loving it. So if you want to learn more about my skills and maybe learn from it a wee bit as well, because there's interludes in it that are about certain specific things like spirit guides, like how I connected with, my sort of soul tribe, things like that. So if you like it, there we go. It's Memoirs of a Clairvoyant by Unforeseen Circumstances by Colette Brown. And enjoy your week ahead, and don't procrastinate. Don't put things off. Don't sit with your head in your hands. Just do something. Many blessings now. Bye.